Hello, everyone. Welcome into ZeldaSpeedRuns. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Tonight we've got the Z2R standard tournament, Swiss round 3 match between Chadbert and Rywek. Both tracking and commentating tonight is Mirai, so I'm going to hand it over to him, and I hope everyone enjoys the race.
Yeah, hello everyone. This is the 1-0 matchup here between these two. In week 1, Chadbert did beat Alan Heffley, and in week 2 took a loss to Level Engine. Level Engine, a very good runner there. So not a big surprise there. Sorry, Chadbert. Sorry if you're listening to this back. He knows Level Engine's a very good runner. Rywek, I'm just looking at a list here, folks. We have a spreadsheet with all this on here. Me Think So, lost to Me Think So in week 1. Beat Bent Glass Tube in week 2. That was a doozy as well, man. They had a very interesting biome layout, and Bent Glass Tube kind of derusting from an old school player, and he got a little caught up in the biome. Rywek was able to really come from behind in that race. That was a very interesting race to watch, and I did do comments on that one as well. So, yeah, welcome in, everyone. We're going to be started here shortly. Waiting for Rywek to ready up here. I hope we see Rywek's cat today. Rywek does have this cat that is his coach / spirit animal, so hoping to see. The cat has made an appearance in his other 2 races up to this point. But yeah, Chadbert also having a little discussion. I will say it's a little interesting that Chadbert is here at this hour. He is over on the West Coast. It is only 4 p.m. for him, and this is way early to see a Chadbert sighting. So some strings may have been pulled. He may be on a tight schedule. I'm not entirely sure. We're about to get this race started here as their countdown has begun in the race room. We're on a slight delay. And so, yeah, unfortunately, the race stream will not see the cat. I have the privilege of seeing the cat, but you can always check out Rywek's stream as well. I'm sure the cat makes plenty of appearances just in general. And there's the countdown, and we'll get off shortly here. We're looking at biome layout. We're trying to figure out what's happening there. We're looking for the glove potentially as early as we can. We're looking for palace progression. And let me just say that this is the first of 5 races that are happening tonight. Most of probably won't get a restream necessarily, but yeah, look for any VOD restreams and bootleg restreams at a later point in time. And we're off. And we're waving at the camera. Hello, Rywek. And we have a mountainous biome. Okay. 2 item caves right off the bat. Something like medicine cave. Yeah. Chadbert's going to turn around at 111. We'll see if Rywek tries it. He is going to try it. 111 medicine cave can be pretty sketchy, depending on the enemies. Taking a lot of damage at life 1. You're in the dark. Things are just generally scary. You can see 3 gorillas here. 2 of them orange, 1 of them red or blue. Yeah, we might be getting hit by a lot of boomerangs, and that might not be the best place to be. Chadbert does get a life level there. That is going to help him get a little bit more defense moving into that cave when he decides to go back in there. P2 sitting next to start, and another cave, not an item cave. It is, in fact, a connector. Hopefully he remembers he sees that, because, man, I have had this problem lately where I see these early game connectors via a cave, and they completely slip my mind 15 minutes later into the seed, and I am lost at that point as to what to do. That's probably just a me problem, though. Rywek not going to make any progress in Medicine Cave, and Chadbert attempting to now. Sometimes it is helpful to try to get a life level at the same time as you're in a cave like this, to where you can do a little damage, take a little damage, and get a level, and then get the refill right as you're trying to kill the enemy. So you essentially get 2 life bars there. But yeah, not looking good for Chadbert. I think he's just going to get out of here, hit up P2, up an A, and go back to exploring as Rywek is as well. I don't know if Rywek saw the maze cave there, but he will see it eventually. Reflect in Mito, gonna need that medicine. Chadbert thinking, do I want to go in? Do I not want to go in? He's not going to go in for now. Also calling out Chadbert's sprite here, the Gooma sprites. Gooma, normally the boss of Palace 5 in Zelda 2, at least the North American version, and it has been converted into a playable sprite. That means Gooma himself is no longer in Palace 5, so we'll just have to wait till we're in Palace 5, and we'll get to see exactly who replaces Gooma. Alright, We have a P3, P6 here. I didn't see the spell in Rudo. Rywek in kind of a busy desert encounter here. More gorillas. Yeah, more gorillas. We could go out. Oh, man, moblins. Moblins come right up to you. Is this a... Wow. We have a DM connection as well. So we have 2 caves very close to start. One goes to maze. One goes to DM. It looked like DM might have been boots locked there. It's a vanilla-like DM, but it might be boots locked. Rywek doing the good, doing the right thing there, pulling down the enemy, pinning him up against the ledge, but unfortunately, just dropped a red jar there, so not anything too important. A very good move to use there in the moblins as well. $50 for the blue moblin. That's very nice. They could be as low as 5 and make it completely not worth trying to fight those guys. We have a bouncy cat in Pillar P-Bag Cave here, a native enemy to the cave. Pretty annoying, and it's going to come back and get Chadbert here and troll him. Get him up. Are there 2 of them? There are 2 bouncy cats in there. Is that accurate? I think so. Found Fairy Cave. Oh, found Maze Cave. Sorry, this is the first drop on Maze. Okay. It was right at the start. What is Rywek going to get? Oh, boy. Oh, he's going to get a game over. Wow, okay. So, yeah, didn't up an A in P2 right there. Candle. Wow, that's going to help immensely in that first drop. Looks like we had a red or blue Lizolfo in the dark there. Couldn't tell whether it was throwing its mace or not. Rywek may just head back there. Red Dyra here. If he can take this out, it might be worth up to 200 experience. No, dodge. Got it. Pinned up against the edge. And 200 it is. All right, that's max roll on this particular flag set for experience. All right, we got Trophy Cave here. Orange Dyra could be worth up to 150. We're not going to find out just yet. Although we do get a chance to go in on the Red Dyra again, if we want to go over there. Magic Container in Trophy Cave. Rywek with the fancy footwork, unfortunately bodies the gorilla there at the end with just a sliver of health. Down to his last life. He's going to get 50 for killing this guy. This is going to be magic too, though. I'm going to skip that for now. It's just not worth it. You might as well attempt to let it ride even on your last life to try to get a life level or attack level. Only 30 for those orange Dyras. That is going to be the minimum roll for them. And Chadbert, also in potentially a predicament here. Swamp encounters. You move slow through them. It's hard to get any momentum to start fighting the enemy. And at least to the left is not the play. Oh, but he's going to go back left again. Okay, he's just going to pull the orange guy out. But that blue moblin, the moblins are the worst. Red and blue moblins will just get in your face and mess with your rhythm as you try to kill all this. And you can see there's a little bit of lag. The Nintendo not really equipped for handling all these sprites on the screen at the same time. Does happen to have a little slowdown as a result. So, yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult to fight in certain areas if enemies roll to be big in that area. Rywek back in this desert encounter. I don't know if this was on purpose, if we're coming back for a grind. If it is, that's a good play to make as long as he can take these guys out and keep his experience rolling, right? You can get a few kills, but if you keep taking game overs, you're not going to get that next level, right? So he's got to stay alive here. He's doing good so far. Chadbert back in the medicine cave here. Still getting a little beat up. It was a blue gorilla up front. He's going to try to just jump the gorillas and go. Bodies the damage, push through, and the second screen is a whole lot easier than the first screen, depending on the enemy set. I don't know if we're stuck here. We did see... So we've got some Lost Woods encounter tiles on Rywek's side. I don't know if we saw any other pass-throughs anywhere, or if we're going to be forced to the maze to go somewhere else. Not 100% sure yet, but another magic container for Chadbert in Medicine Cave. That's very nice to have. One day we'll have castable magic, and the more magic you have, the more you can cast it. Also Red Dyras in these Lost Woods tile encounters. Good experience, gonna let it ride to this 570, wants attack 3. I don't know if he's on his last life. This could be a sketchy fight here as you can't really get to that orange gorilla. It's just going to keep chucking boomerangs at you. Grass tile here. Okay, so we do have a little bit more to play with. Heart container, very nice. Free refill. Unfortunately, the orange dire is only worth 30. I mean, it's still worth killing them because you might get a drop that is worthwhile from a large enemy drop group, especially if you, I mean, at least if you can kill them quickly and, you know, not take any damage as a result of trying to fight them. But, yeah, so we do have more access here on our western continent because Chadbert has found his way into Magic Container Cave. Gotta see what we've got here. We're on the sliver of health as well. Two, I have to do some dodging up high, get smacked in the face with the boomerang. Rywek back in the medicine cave at 313, which I will point out, that little bit of grind has put him, you know, several levels ahead of Chadbert right now. So Chadbert's still sitting at 112. Attack 1 is, you know, obviously going to be pretty bad at the start. Wow. Two boomerangs right off the bat. Oh, nice flip there. Is this going to be trophy? It looked like the edge. Oh, it's going to be the glove. Okay, easy game. Easy game. Nice to see that early on. Very nice to see that early on. Rywek does make it through the first screen here. Likely to make it through the second screen as well of Medicine Cave, just an Octorok. I don't think we had any big, difficult enemies on the way to this magic container. Free Thunder in Raru. Barba with the cross. Okay, P6 cross. That I don't know if we'll... We already got the gloves, so we're in really good shape. We just need to find the key and or the fairy spell. We know Reflect is in Nido. So we're going to have to get that hint eventually, or just stumble upon the medicine as a result. But there is a hint in the town on where we can find the medicine, if we so desire to go get it. Yeah, so raft, bridge, something's going to take us to the east. We haven't seen a lot of the maze just yet. We saw the first drop, unsuccessfully getting the item out of there on Rywek's side. We'll see when Chadbert returns with that candle. If he remembers, again, that early game, the early game connector find is sometimes a real troll. So there's a game over for Rywek. Here's the back of Saria, which I don't know if Rywek saw Bagu specifically, if he was just killing some Dairas in those encounters. Although we may have a pass-through to the south side. I don't know if we had access to that. That is, these are pass-throughs in both directions here for Chadbert. One of those is going to be Fairy, one of those is going to be Parappa. Raft tile, no raft to check. Heart Container Cave as well. So we got a lot going on here. Heart on grass tile for Rywek. We saw that on Chadbert's side. Thunder is castable. Always a nice thing to see. Well, he does have 2 extra magic containers, so that makes sense. Okay, Rywek has seen Bagu. Perfect. So when he sees Saria, he'll be able to get across if he so desires. Chadbert happy to receive attack 2 finally at 10.5 minutes into the game. Haven't really seen any big P-bags, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we saw 200 off the red Dairas, and I'm not really sure Chadbert has seen that yet, which is why Rywek was taking advantage of that. Nothing else really sitting out there. We saw a 50 bag earlier from Chadbert just a moment ago as he killed the orange Daira with the Thunder spell. It dropped a 50 bag, but that's not really an impressive bag to drop. I mean, it's nice, but it's nice because it's 20 more than the default orange Daira is worth right now. But yeah, not really all that nice in the grand scheme of things. GP, so we've got 3/6. We don't know which one it is yet, and we have GP on the west. Other than that, we have no further information. And Chadbert may be making his way back to the maze at this point. Rywek trying to make his way through Magic Container Cave as well. Going to get himself a Magic Container. It will also be his 6th. I'm sorry, I lied. That's a glove for Rywek. Magic Container was in a different cave. Pillar P-Bag Cave, I think. And Chadbert has found Bagu now, or at least the Bagu area. We'll see if he sticks with it. He's not going to. Okay, he's going to keep cruising. We're getting free Thunder on Rywek's side. Checking out Fairy Cave. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is Fairy Cave. So do we have access to the back side of Saria, or the front side of Saria already? We may? We do. Okay, yeah, we do. Okay, so, yeah. Bagu not... I see. Bagu is on that side where we can already access Saria. So, yeah, no big deal. There's the cat. I'm sorry to report that y'all cannot see it in chat, but I can see the cat on Rywek's side has joined us there. to give us to give Rywek a little motivation here. I don't remember what spell this was here. We got community text on Chadbert's side. It is going to be fire. Okay, we don't know what fire is just yet. Probably castable. It is castable at 80. So we're going to get a fire check, I imagine, at some point. Rywek seeing GP over here as well. Yeah, still looking at their levels. 2 and 2 for Chadbert, 3 and 3 still for Rywek. Again, not too much of an advantage. I mean, this is all going to even out at some point. You start killing enemies in palaces. You start killing bosses. You start placing gems. You get free levels as a result. But yeah, it's good to have some healthy levels early on. The faster you can level, the better off you are. And that is a pro gamer strat right there. Let me tell you. Okay, we didn't get. Nice blue jar. $200 or a blue jar. Man, what a unequal exchange there. Hard for Rywek. Where was this candle? Was that in Trophy Cave? No, there was a magic container in Trophy Cave. That is going to be the other magic container I think Rywek may be missing. I don't recall where this candle came from. Was that Pillar P Bag? That might have been Pillar P Bag. All right, we are checking out the maze here on Chadbert's side. Here's going to be, is it blue or is it red? It is blue. Wow. Yeah, okay, Thunder, one hit, $500 for the blue Zolfo. There is our experience today. We're going to put that towards life levels, and we're going magic as well. I don't know if we know what fire is, or maybe that was a fire cast, I'm not sure. Hammer in that first drop. Haven't seen a boulder blocked cave on the west just yet, but that does open up Spec Rock. On the maze, if we possibly need the boots to get anywhere on there, but I think Chadbert did not want to travel further down that path and is walking it backwards. Oh, is there a boulder blocked cave on the west? Okay, he's going for another 500 experience here. Okay, got it. Yeah, we're letting this ride to attack here. Rywek going through Fairy Cave in reverse, and honestly, this will spit him out of the front side of Saria, so he can also pick up his fire spell, although he was kind of in that area earlier, because he was in the Lost Woods tile encounters. Oh boy. Wow, bodying these guys at life 3, almost 4 hearts of damage, so... Yeah, Maze Island can be very good for experience, but not free by any means. Just, you gotta avoid that tough damage. Let it ride, Chadbert. Get that life level. All right, he's 15 short of the life level. He's taking that dead end here. Oh, there's another blue one. Wow. This is my type of Maze Island. I am digging this. Oh, but he's not going to keep going. He's not going to check this dead end. So that other drop could be sitting back there. Pretty unlikely. Oh, he's going to check it now. Okay, it's a peace of mind thing. Do we have a hint on the bot? No, we do not. Man, yeah, is that a game over? It's not a game over. Okay. Not 100% sure if we've gotten that check on fire just yet. Oh, there is an encounter here. So funny. Okay, this is very interesting. I hope it doesn't game over here. So when you push through an encounter like this, you're going to get pushed out the other side. He's not getting himself killed here, though. There's a lot of stuff going on. You get pushed out the other side, and then you land on what would normally be a road tile. We're never going to find out. I'm going to run this seed myself. But there's a cave there. I'm very interested to see if that messes with something where you get pushed out from the rock. Oh, no, you get pushed into the rock. I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. It would work as intended, but It's fine. He's going back there. He's going to look for the other item. Rywek has his fire spell. Doesn't have his candle just yet. Still knows he's missing 2 caves? I think 2 caves on the west here. Because it's going to be cave with a candle and cave with another magic container. Is that Fire Thunder as well? Did we just get a fire cast from Rywek there at 80? I think we did. He could have moved the cursor and I didn't catch it, but I thought he checked fire there. Not 100% sure. We'll have to wait and see and watch to see what happens. So P4 trophy for Spell today. There is a bridge on the maze, so that is going to be our access point. Possibly back to DM. The bridge doesn't have to be the main travel point here. It could still be the raft, but in that case, I don't think so, because right now we don't have any progression. Unless... No, okay, DM is open. Just seeing it there on Rywek's side. We do have 1 cave point to access, and so this goes to DM. Okay, so Hammer Cave is progression today? Hammer Cave Magic Key or Spec Rock Magic Key? Because we do have the hammer. We're going in for hints on... Oh, east to find the boots. Okay, Spec Rock has... another magic container. Wow, okay. So Hammer Cave Magic Key. We did see Fairy on the west. And we... Oh, I guess it could be a raft. I guess it could be a raft as well. Raft or Magic Key. If it's Magic Key, we have a raft and a palace then. Oh, fire is jump, because we now have downstab on Rywek's side. Okay. Well, that works out well for him. P1 medicine and P4 trophy and P6 cross. Okay. P2, P3, P5, still potential locations for something of interest. I guess we need the medicine, so that is a place that we will need to go. And Rywek coming in here, gonna thunder this guy down, get 500 experience. Be very happy with that. Yes, he's very happy with the 500 experience. Look at his hammer as well. So, okay, now Chadbert sees that this is in fact jump. Around this vanilla-like. Is this it? That's not it. Okay. We're trying to find Hammer Cave. We're also going to clear out this dead end, but I'll be honest, this dead end is chock full of blue Lizalfos, so if you want to thunder some more blue Lizalfos down for 500 experience, you can do exactly that. We do have that south-facing cave right there. Is that something on Chadbert's side? No, it is not. Rywek just hitting the easy button on leveling here. Love it. 500 points for these guys. Thunder doesn't always have to kill these guys in one hit, so it's also not guaranteed you're going to have Thunder when you run into these enemies, and it's also not guaranteed they're going to be 500 experience, but that is their maximum roll in this flag set. And yeah, that's does another 500 bag. Okay. Wow, Rywek is cruising in levels 444 for him. That is really good. 434 for Chadbert. See, it did all even out there at the end. 200 bag on Chadbert's side. Rywek about to be pushed out into the mountain. What I was talking about here is that you get pushed out into the mountain, and then you can just go up. Yeah. So it's kind of a little glitch that if a spike tile ends up next to a mountain like that, you're going to get pushed out the other side, and you can kind of use it as a shortcut sometimes. Not too often does that happen, but when it does, it may or may not be useful for you to kind of shortcut your way through Maze Island. All right, well, we're still looking for Hammer Cave. Again, I'm almost positive this is all we have access to. Rywek walking around. If he goes south, yeah, he's going to go north. It makes sense to go north. You want to clear out this little section. You don't want to walk back to this section of Maze Island, so you clear this out. I don't think there's anything back here. Yeah, completely free. No encounters, so he'll just check that. Then he'll head south. He'll see his heart is the second drop, and the other 3/6 palace is here on the maze. So what do we have? We got 2, 3/6, and GP on the west, and then 3/6, the opposite of whatever's on the west will be on the maze. And that leaves 1, 5, 1, 4, and 5 on the east then. Wherever that is, wherever that lie. Man, this Hammer Cave may be buried. I mean, it sure is looking like it's buried here. I kind of like that cave that's just below him. He's got 2 west-facing caves and 1 east-facing cave. I think it's... Maybe not. No, maybe not. Yeah, this is a thing, right? You're gonna... Sometimes Hammer Cave is sticking out like a sore thumb. Other times, not so much. Now, what's kind of funny is where they come in from the other cave, right? Because they've got the bridge point off the maze that goes to DM, and they've got the cave off the west that goes to DM. It's possible that we actually have a segmented Hammer Cave, or a segmented DM, where Hammer Cave is only accessible from the cave side and not the bridge side. That is entirely possible, and we're going to see what Chadbert does here. Because the only way we could go to the east now is with a raft, and we don't have ferry on the west. We're done with all of the locations in the overworld, and yeah, it is going to be Hammer Cave for raft or key at this point. I think Chadbert is headed back to the cave. It was a little bit further north. Rywek about to find his heart, I think. It's nearby here somewhere. Okay, we're going to get a hint. Oh, he's going to get down stab. He's going to get the medicine hint. P1 medicine today for this reflect spell. Alright, there's the second drop for Rywek. That is going to be the heart. Alright. He is still missing 2 locations on the west. Again, a magic container and a candle for Rywek on the west for him. We also don't have any keys in the drop pool. I don't know if we saw any keys in the drop pool, so even if we wanted to gamble on a palace, we don't really have that luxury. And even then, it still could just be that Hammer Cave is in fact the raft, and so going into palaces out of logic would really not net you any benefit. Okay, so he did get a key drop. All right, so there are keys. They're pretty rare, though, but we'll see. We'll see what he can find. He's going to actually not go into the palace here. He's going to check the bridge, right? He's going to check the bridge. Yeah, I'm pretty sure right next to GP is where our DM cave is. So, yeah, Chadbert putting this together here. What is this cave? Do we have only access to... It's right there. It is completely segmented. No one checked this. And this may actually throw Rywek off. I hope at some point, once he's done attempting to dig DM from the bridge side, that he goes back to that cave. So there you go. Yeah, these are things that You have to see them happen, either in a race, you have to have them happen to you specifically to think about how this is potentially segmented. Now, of course, if we had the boots, we would have been able to get to that from the bridge side and vice versa. But the boots are in the east, as per the hint on the western continent. All right, so what do we have? Raft or key? Drum roll. It is a raft, and there's a key. We actually have both. We got both, actually. Well, we're off to the raft tile now. We still don't have palace progression. 28 minutes in. Now, here's the thing. Rywek's doing some cave math here, kind of trying to figure out what pairs up with what. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. He has seen the other cave as well. So, again, hopefully he's able to put this together because this is absolutely required that he find Hammer Cave. Chadbert is going to be the first to show us the east, though. At some point. The raft is way up here in the north. There it is. Okay, what is our east a terrible mountainous biome or islands with no boots? Kind of looking potentially islandsy. This could be Fairy right here. It could be the neighboring town as well. We saw a town just as we walked into Old Kasuto. We'll have to see what this is. It is the shield spell. Okay. It'd be great if we had like a child fairy requirement here. Okay, there's jump. We're not going to get that because we've got fire jump. Okay, it's looking more like a mountainous biome here again. So double mountainous. That's a lot of fun. 50-50 that this is going to be New Kasuto and a free fairy spell. Or it's going to be possibly Darunia and a fairy spell. It is fairy for child. So we're going to have to go hunt this child down, which has to be over here on the east somewhere. Because we just have no other locations. We're done with the west. We're done with the maze. We're done with DM. And so over here on the east somewhere, the child... Oh, you know what? Actually, the child doesn't have to be outside of a palace, right? Because we can still find a key outside of the palace. So Chadbert will get that information here that... I'm sorry. I'm really liking the seed so far. I'm just hoping Rywek is able to just get the idea. I need to go. That's the cave right there. That's his cave. Now, if he goes in there, go in that cave. And he'll see that he'll actually be spit out on the coast instead. And, yeah. So I'm going to see where this child is at. Rebo child, so the key is outside somewhere, and we're gonna have to go get the child out of P3. Okay, well, we're looking for item caves, we're looking for desert tile. Boots are in the east, so we might have to find the boots. Maybe it's water tile key. That's a possibility as well. We do have access to the basement in New Kasuto. We don't have the spell. Where was the trophy? Trophy was in a palace, and so that won't be our... The spell tower will not be our access point for the key. So we have only 4 locations remaining now. So we've got Risen, we've got basement. I'm sorry, we only have 3. So it's desert, basement, or Risen. That's it. Yeah, 7 magic containers, 8 heart containers, and we are absolutely completely stacked right now, 32 minutes into this game. So I hope Rywek does give this up and does come back to the other cave. You can see it right there. He sees it right there. He's like, how do I get to that? But it is the other, I mean, as we had seen, it is the other access point just to Hammer Cave. And nobody checked it, right? Nobody checked it when they first walked in there. And that is a mistake that tends to get made, even by myself. And I try to do my best to just check some of the surrounding caves in DM when you first land there. And there is our key. Okay. Well, we're back to the west. We're not going to go any further on the east. I guess P3, P6 is either going to be on the west here or on the maze. One of those is going to be P3. We do have the glove. We do have the key. We're ready to go. I mean, there's really nothing that's going to stop us. You know what? Actually, Chadbert probably should have stuck around to find P1 because medicine is P1 for reflect. So he's going to have to come back to, this is very fast, P2. He's going to have to go east again, go into P1, get the medicine out of there, come back to the west to get reflect because P4 is in the east as well, right? So he's going to have to do that kind of double dip trip back and forth one more time before he can fully clear this, especially because GP is over there in the east as well. So, oh, no, I'm sorry, GP is over here in the west, my bad. But, yeah. Good old one room palace here. Helmet head down, just shy of 34 minutes into this one. Oh, wait, Rywek is out of that DM, that side of DM. I hope he doesn't go back to the, oh no, he's going back to the bridge side, is he? No. Yeah, okay, he's thinking cave. This is perfect. This is perfect. I love this. He's going to be a little bit behind Chadbert. But, I mean, it's kind of been the same. The only problem in his side is that he is missing 2 item caves still over here, which he will think about on the back of his mind. And, but it's good for him that it's actually not like progression. So he can just kind of keep cruising. He's got to find the other cave, but I don't think he remembers where that other cave is. So I think that's what he's kind of racking his brain right now, just trying to pull up that information, be like, where did I see that other DM cave? Where did I see that? And so, yeah, I think that's where he's going to attempt to find his progression, which he needs to. He needs to at this point. All right, so we are going into this P3/6. Again, we're not sure which one it is until we see a window or a boss, or even an item, I guess. If we see the child in here, we know we're in P3. And I guess if we see the cross in here, we know we're in P6 because we got the hint for both palaces. So, all right, Rywek just needs to go a little bit further north, towards where GP is at. Either that, or he's actually maybe trying to find the other item caves on the west here. That's something that could be happening. Just waiting to see where everybody's traveling to here. What's in our next room in the palace? We've got a dead end. Yep. I feel like Rywek has seen the raft tile before, so he's familiar with what he needs to do here now. I mean, just kind of reminding yourself, being like, well, yeah, there's the raft. I don't have a raft. I need a raft. Then again, hopefully he kind of works on reverse, right? Because he knows that he saw DM from another side. So if you hit Death Mountain from the bridge and you can't reach the other connector that you originally saw Death Mountain from, then there has to be a segment, right? That has to be cut off from each other. And, hopefully you can work in reverse in that manner. We're still looking around for some sort of clue here as to what palace we're actually in. If we start to see a lot of rooms, we can probably make a guess that we're in P6, but I don't think we've seen enough rooms just yet to make that call. We are in P6, though, because there is Barbara's room, so we're just going to get out of here. We're not going to look any further for anything unless we really want that cross. But, yeah, we are going to very likely leave after this. Where is Rywek headed now? He's gonna see this item cave. I don't. Yeah, this was his other magic container that he is missing right now. He's gonna be his. Wait, is it? Yes, this is gonna be his 7th. Yeah, that's right. Because Spec Rock was Chadbert's 7th, and that is gonna be P6 down. A little after 38 minutes here. Oh, is it time for double level in Chadbert? It is time to go, my man. He's shaking his head. He's like, I can't do this. We got to displace the gem and get the hell out of here. We are in round 3. There's no time for double leveling. We got plenty of levels early on. He got, whenever you can power level early on off those blue Lizalfas that we saw earlier for 500 experience, you know, you kind of get that boost early on, and so you can kind of just take whatever levels you get at the gems from that point forward. Unless there's something specific you need to do, like level magic to get a Castable Thunder or something like that. But we are absolutely stacked in terms of resources, so we are good. Chadbert is just gonna put on the afterburners and go, go, go. But again, he's got to hit P1 on the east, get that medicine, and come all the way back to the west, turn it into Mito, and then go all the way back to the east, do 4, and then come back to the west and do GP. So there's some backtracking he's gonna have to do here. Oh, this is perfect. Rywek is right here at this cave, and we know that Hammer Cave is literally one more over. Go in there. Check it out, Rywek. Go in there. Go in the cave. Please go in the cave. Please go in it, Rywek. Please go in the cave. Just 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 go in the No! Go in the cave. Up left, up left. Just check it out. Oh my god. He's steps from progression. This could literally be how this game ends, though, if he never goes in that cave, because you can't go east. And now he's going to gamble on what will be P3 here, and he'll have his child, maybe. He's got enough keys to unlock all the doors in this palace if they exist. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, literally one thing, right? One thing, that's it. And, I mean, we know that the answer isn't in a palace, because the randomizer's logical progression is magic key or fairy spell in your possession before you were ever expected to be in a palace. So going into a palace without either one of those, and you are essentially out of logic at that point. So if the raft is required in this case, and it is, it wouldn't be in a palace unless the game could give you palace logic access before that point. But it's also, I mean, it's you know, it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad, right? Because it's like just literally that one thing. He's right there, and it's just like he just needs to check the cave. Like, just check the cave. It looks like it goes to the other cave, but it doesn't. The cave that's just a few tiles west of it actually goes all the way to the coast, which is not what we're interested in. All right, well, Chadbert also joining Rywek in this palace, also heading to the right. There are the windows to indicate we are in P3, other than having seen P6 before this point, if anyone's confused. Sometimes you see windows, sometimes you don't, but there are the windows in P3. Has this been linear this entire time? It just keeps going, this P3. Well, I mean, maybe, okay, goes through the item room, and it is Rebo blocked, okay. Well, I guess there's still the potential that he leaves this palace and then just goes back in the DM to just double check that cave right there. Please, fingers crossed. Both fingers on all hands, all fingers on all hands crossed. Because after a point, Chadbert is going to be difficult to catch because he's going to have so much of a lead, and everything at this point is just, unless we have a potential, man, that would be funny. No, that's not possible, I don't think. You know, it could be possible. I'll lay it out there, but it's possible that P1 is blocked by water. And that we would need to go into P4 without Reflect, get the trophy out of there, go back to the west, get the spell to get the boots out of Spell Tower so we can reach 1, to get the medicine out of there, to go back to the west, to turn it in for Reflect, to go back to the east, to then kill Karok. I mean, that's a chain that, I mean, could happen, but is pretty unlikely. But that could potentially allow Rywek to catch up at that point. Yeah, see, when you don't have keys, there's really, you know, we don't have ways through doors. There's no. That's the problem with the palace progression, is that there may or may not be doors in the way. We know there's always a door blocking the gem pedestal after the boss, and there's likely a door blocking the items at least, and then at random there will be other doors placed throughout the palace depending on the rooms that get randomly selected by the randomizer to create these random palace layouts. Yeah, completely leaving the area there, not going to be headed back to that cave for a while, so Chadbert likely going to pull ahead with a very big lead here. Rywek can't be that much further in. We did see so many rooms off in one direction in this P3. So Rywek coming up here or in the next room. Yeah, okay, he's probably going to be up this elevator at the end of this room for Chadbert. Well, without a key, we still can't place this gem, so... P2 not technically done for Rywek just yet. I don't know what drop pool the key came from, whether it was large enemy, whether it was small enemy, I'm not sure. And there's going to be a P3 gem placed for Chadbert, though. 3 gems down, 3 to go. Not all items are blocked by key doors. No, there are some community rooms that don't have key doors on either neither side of them or only one side of them. There's even a boss guarded room where there is no key door either. So, and there's only one of those. Unfortunately, there can't be more than one door. I mean, it is not unfortunate in reality, but you can't put more than one door in a room. It will just, you open one door, you open all doors. You can open one door and then leave the room, and everything is open at that point. For some reason, the vanilla game's coded that way. There's not a single vanilla room that has more than one door in it. So we're back to the east here for Chadbert. We're looking around for stuff now. Do we need the boots? I don't know. Do we need anything else? I mean, we wouldn't need anything else. Do we need a flute? We know that the flute is somewhere, I think. We'll mark Chadbert down for fairy. He's going to turn that in. I don't remember if we had a flute hint. We have east boots. We have 1 medicine. 2 is something. No, 2 was up in the air. 3 was child. 4 was maybe 4 was flute. 4 might have been flute. No, 4 was trophy. I'm sorry, 4 was trophy. 5 is a question mark. 6 was cross. So I don't think we had a hint for the flute, although we may have, and I just forgot it because we got so many hints early on. But anyway, we have our fairy spell now. Chadbert's hoping he can access all of these palaces. Without the boots, that is. He has seen very little of this east, so it's kind of just pick a direction and go at this point. We started the south side, so sometimes it's nice to just clear out the whole south section, a whole north section, a whole east or west section that you start on. Of course, it's nothing, and you got to walk through all this swamp. We do have invisible MOAs, but we have all the hearts in the game, and we are at life 6, so I think we're going to be okay, even with them flying around. Rywek did get a key somewhere. He did just open a door. Yeah, unfortunately, still no raft for Rywek. He's also missing the candle as well, so he is technically missing another... did he get the magic key? Did he just get 2 keys? Well, he's got P2 down. I don't think he got the magic. I think he just got 2 keys from walking around and checking the palace out. We have entered into P5 on Chadbert's side, though. At this point, we're just hoping for a fast Goomba, though. P5 could be a gigantic palace, control you immensely in its layouts, unfortunately, and every runner comes in here and just kind of hopes that they find what they need to find very quickly. Yeah, this is going to be the dead-end variant of this room, so Chadbert's stepping out of here. Rywek headed back to DM, which is the answer, but is on the wrong side of it. Again, it was just 1 tile away from seeing that he was in front of Hammer Cave. I mean, you kind of hope that he, again, just goes over that direction from where he's at, where he thought the cave connected, and then just try that cave, just go into it, and see that it doesn't actually connect there. And then hopefully you'll just think about it and be like, you know what, I can access that from the other side. And he'll go back to the other side again and see that it is just simply Hammer Cave sitting right there. All right, Goomba, not too bad. I mean, Link, not Goomba. Weird and creepy, but that is the boss of P5 there when you play as the Goomba sprite. And there it is. We have P5 down for Chadbert. And we are not going to be pulling the item out of here. I think we're just moving. We're just moving forward. And of course, there's nothing up here. And there's all this swamp to walk through. Man, I love swamp. Swamp is one of my favorite terrains in this game. In fact, it was voted most favorite terrain in the Discord, and that's why it's everywhere in the randomizer. Yeah, I'm not sure where we need to go here. We've got some pass-through caves that kind of go to a mystery area. Almost looks like we have... you know, I'm not sure how to get into that Death Valley right now. I have heard tales of there being more swamp than usual, but I don't believe it. People tell tales about how they've had the full screen of swamp. I have also experienced the full screen of swamp, only on the modern version as well, though. I don't believe it's been adjusted at all. Well, you're in luck, Tasty Jake. You can, in fact, roll more swamp onto your biome. You can pick the wetlands climate, and you'll get more swamp than usual. Again, voted best terrain type by the Z2R Discord and community in 2024. I apologize. We're getting a little biased here. We're using this as swamp, not really loved by all. If that wasn't apparent. We have a quick horse head. Again, we're gonna stick around here, look for medicine, and have to go turn that in to get reflect. And this would have been the play, right? Seeing that it's here in Death Valley, you have to go into Death Valley, finish up P1. It would have been a great place to just up and A out of the first time in here. And so, yeah, and unfortunately he's got to do this and then go get the medicine. I've said this numerous times at this point, but we're getting the medicine. We got to bring it all the way back to the west, and then get reflect out of Mito, and then come back here and do 4, and then go back to the west one more time and do GP. Rywek still looking around this Death Mountain. Unfortunately, he knows Hammer Cave is out here and exists. Now, what's interesting is he does still have another item cave on the west that is outstanding, that has the candle in it. And he hasn't found that yet, so... But he must think that it's boulder blocked or just not accessible, because he is very determined to find Hammer Cave here, which is the better play. The Hammer Cave does have the raft today, so that is required progression. Trying to see where Rywek was on the coast there. Maybe he needs to look a little bit further up and be like, you know, I can't get to that one cave. Is this P1 also very linear like P3 was? I haven't been paying attention all that much. Seems like it is kind of linear. Is this our item room? It is, in fact, our item room. Mark the medicine, and we are out of here. We're going to go back to the west and turn this sucker in. Yes, just follow this through, Rywek. Just follow that through. Follow that through, and you'll see that it doesn't actually go where you think it goes. He sees the cave. I assume he's seen the cave on the coast, which he can't access. But we don't need to access the one on the coast because, and we don't need to, first of all, that cave is accessible from the cave he was just outside of a moment ago. So that's not the cave he's interested in, although it may be the cave he thinks he's interested in. Gonna mark reflect for Chadbert as he's about to pick that up here. There it is, nice and cheap. Back to start, all the way back to the top of the biome, to the raft tile, back to the east, back to P4, finish that up, get out of there, come back here, and get into GP. Wow, Tac 6 is very nice. Yeah, this wouldn't be such a bad trip to the raft if it wasn't all, filled with swamp. Oh, too funny. Apologies, folks. If anyone watches me stream and play this game, we talk about swamp often on my channel as we play this. All right, Rywek. You see the cave. You see the cave up there. I mean, at this point, it's too little too late, right? It's going to be really unfortunate if it never makes it to Hammer Cave, though. Yes, we absolutely love the swamp on my channel. Rywek back to the west? Yes. Now I hope he's going to the other cave. And he seems like he's headed that way. Because I think he might have pieced it together now that he can't actually get to the cave he thought he could get to. He's going to hit this cave. He's going to walk to that cave. And it is in fact going to be Hammer Cave. And yeah, unfortunately at the hour mark, this is going to be way too late. Probably was here about, I don't know, I would say it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm going to say at least 20 minutes ago he was here, just right outside of this cave. Just didn't walk in. He just didn't walk into this cave. He saw the connector a long time ago. So did Chadbert. But both of them dug the bridge side. We've got 2 access points to DM today. From the west, we've got a cave to DM. And from the maze, we have a bridge to DM. The bridge gets us every cave in DM except Hammer Cave. Hammer Cave is completely segmented off this one connection here. And so you needed to just check this cave right up front when you got here. And he's going to get his raft. And he's like, okay, well, there it is. I got it. Let's move on. The head shake, the I can't believe, the disbelief, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was about 20 minutes ago. So earlier, a moment ago, Chadbert thought he might have found the boss there. There's this one room that comes from Vanilla P2. That is, well, I guess there's a few rooms that might make you think you're in the boss room, but there's this bait room from P2 Vanilla that you walk into it and you think you found the boss room, and it is in fact not the boss room, just a dead end. All right, so at 62 minutes and 15 seconds here, we transition over to the east for Rywek, shaking his head again, knowing that this is probably donezo at this point. I mean, it can't feel good, and I've been in positions like this. I think everyone, you just got to play the game enough. You play any randomizer enough, you're going to miss something somewhere, and ultimately last location it because it's in some troll position in the game, and yeah. And unfortunately, you always hope that it doesn't happen during a tournament race, but unfortunately, sometimes it does happen in these types of races. Yeah, he's going to see Darunia here, and he'll see that it is, in fact, Fairy. He didn't get the child. He was outside the door that was blocking the child in 3, so he could technically have gotten the child out of logic, but he got no key in his pocket, so couldn't open the door. Still looking around for Karok. No Karok down here. And we have a Karok down here, though. Rywek trying to get the super jump here. He says, no, I'll just do it the normal way. I think Chadbert did exactly the same thing. You give it a few attempts, but if you're not really like well versed with it, with trying to execute the super jump, it's just there's the vanilla correct way to do it, which is just jump on the roofs and go into the chimney. We're burning gems. 64 minutes in. We are GP ready on Chadbert's side. Chadbert does not know it, but he has quite the lead here. And so even if GP is a terrible place to be, might be really bad enemy sets, might be really bad loops, tough palace layout to decipher, he's got plenty of time to make all that happen. And the chuckle from Rywek, because he knows he was in the item room and just couldn't open the door to get that kid. And yeah, unfortunately, so there it is, 64:46 on my dashboard timer that we are walking into GP on Chadbert's side. A very nice, dark, kind of crimson red, I'd say. It's even a little bit darker than that, maybe. Like a dark crimson red, yeah. Maybe even a blood red. I missed what was in that cave there. Early Thunderbird, okay. So this means that Darkling could be very close by or could be very far away. Some people don't like Thunderbird being so close to start because it leaves really the rest of the palace open in terms of any other junctions and pathways we find. And that is a legitimate stance to hold. Simply that, you know, you're looking around GP for Thunderbird. Thunderbird's required in this flag set, so the moment you find Thunderbird, you know that you can ignore any other path you had seen up to that point that you had not yet gone down, right? And so, if you find Thunderbird early on, that leaves any path open to go down. And there's the key for Rywek, yeah, and Risen. Wow, okay, so we've got a 4-way, we got a left, 2 lefts, and 2 rights. I actually missed what was all the way down at the bottom. I forget what that was. Alright, so Rywek knows he needs the medicine out of 1. Oh, wow, look at that move by Chadbert. 50-50 jar, first try. Man, and another jar, free jars for all. Must be nice to have that type of jar luck. Going into P5 on Rywek's side. We've seen up and left on Chadbert's layout here. Bluebird to troll us here. Oh, one Thundercast, not enough to drop it down. Usually isn't enough to drop it down. Wow, Thundercast and an Attack 6 hit, also not enough to drop it down. So there you go. That was a very... that's what you consider probably like a bad room as a player, because he depleted all of his magic in that room, and, you know, it was ultimately unnecessary to do so. Sometimes that happens, though. You're just trying to save resources as you push through this palace, though. Okay, so this is the loop. That is the loop. All right. So we have 3 lefts remaining, I think. And this is one of them. Rywek's seen this dead end here. Guma wasn't too bad. It was just not in this direction. It was pretty close down the other direction, though, that Rywek has access to. All right, now we have another right and another left and right. So 3 lefts, 2 rights, and a Dark Link. Okay, well, that is going to be GG for Chadbert. He could get hit a few times and take a death here, but he's got another life in reserve at least. Alright, 2 more hits. Get jumped on. 1 more hit. And that is going to be a GG to Chadbert. Going to take this one with an official racetime.gg race room time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 31 seconds. And we have an immediate forfeit from Rywek at that point. Yeah, a little discussion in the race room here as well. Chadbert going to be coming in for an interview. Rywek may as well. We are joined by Chadbert. GG.
Thank you. GG's to Rywek as well.
Fun DM layout.
Yeah, there appears to never be a tournament that I can't go 20 minutes and DM in at least one race.
The Hammer Cave segment there definitely caught both of you off guard. Unfortunately, it caught Rywek off guard for about twice as long. So he's been looking around in a bunch of different places. He's in the waiting room. We'll wait for him to come in here. GG Rywek, welcome in.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. GG Chadbert. Hey, thank you so much. I'm like, I hope this doesn't last 2 hours. I hope Chadbert doesn't take 2 hours to finish, because I was like, after finding that raft, after what, an hour? that destroyed me.
That raft was in a very rude spot, and I thought that if you ended up just going to that DM entrance instead and getting it, that I was behind. So I was like, I'm going. I'm like, all right, here's a palace. Oh, it's like 3 rooms. Great, done. Here's a palace. Oh, it's 4 rooms. Great, done. Here's a palace. This actually has an item I need. I actually need to like dig everything, and I dig every room. But oh, yeah. And then ferry location was rude, and then you had to go all the way past P4 into Death Valley to get through P1 to get the item that you need, to get the medicine that you need to go back.
I'm not even there yet. I haven't even discovered all of that. I was so behind. I really was behind. Like, I've got 1 dungeon completed, and like, it's not even really completed. It's just like, oh hey, I had just the right amount of keys that were drops to be able to finish it, and that's it.
Oh,
I just picked up the magic key.
Okay. You just picked up the magic key, yeah. So, whenever did you know the fairy was locked behind the child?
Yes.
Okay. And did you get the hint for where that was?
Shoot, what was it? Karok?
Yeah, it was P3, but yeah. So anytime that happens, it's definitely a case of the magic key is available. Go hunt down the magic key.
Yeah.
We did after you got the hint, Rywek, you were kind of laughing from what it looked like, because I assume you killed Rebo.
I did.
Yeah, but you didn't have a key to get through that door to acquire the child at that time, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's could have had that just a scotch earlier, but yeah.
The only reason I went dungeon diving, even without anything else, is I needed time to think. Well, what did I miss in the overworld? So I was just buying myself some time while doing something.
Yeah. What was crazy about that DM, obviously segmented in just that one cave segmented, but you both found that connector cave fairly early on, and neither one of you checked that one cave that you had access to, because it just looked like you just went to the cave three tiles to the west of it, and neither one of you checked it. And so then off of the maze, you both dug DM from the bridge, and Chadbert was in there for several minutes, trying to figure it out. And like, I got nothing. And then he heads back to the cave and shows us that it is segmented. And I think this was shortly before you started to dig around the maze. Dig around DM from the bridge. But unfortunately, it took a little bit while longer in there. But what's even more unfortunate is that you came back to you came back to the western cave to DM, and you stood right outside of Hammer Cave, and I'm going crazy. I'm like, just walk into it, Rywek, just step into it, please. And then you walked away, and that was that. And I was like, oh no. And that was unfortunate to watch, because it was just right there, and you're like, it's got to go to this cave that's literally 3 steps to the left of it, but no.
Well, that'll teach me.
Well, the thing was that sometimes it kind of comes down to, at some point it's like you kind of got to work in reverse. It's like you knew that you had the bridge access point and that other cave from the west, and it's like if you can't actually connect those two together, right? If you come from the bridge and you can't actually reach the other cave back to the west, then we might actually have a segmented area here. But I think you were still kind of just making the assumption that those two caves that were very close to each other just connected, just as it looks like they probably should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, again, one of those things, talking about it in comms, is that it's one of those things that you kind of got to get burned by in a race at some point, whether it's a tournament race, whether it's a casual race, or whether it's just your own seed that you're playing, that you have to kind of see this to have it happen to you, and then you're like, I'm never going to forget that we can have a segmented, because other biomes could be segmented. Of course, Death Mountain could also be segmented, but it's segmented in such a kind of weird way that you just, it happens so infrequently that you just really don't think about it too much in DM.
Of course. And like, what I'm lacking really is experience. It's like the amount of seeds that I've played so far is like everything in this tournament, everything in the Upstarts tournament, and maybe a handful more. I have not played enough, so like when I get into one of these situations, like, well, it's a lesson learned at least that I can use for next week.
Yeah,
I would actually recommend finishing this one, because there's even more.
You ain't gotta. I don't
No, you don't have to. But this one has some more rudeness.
Oh, why would you inflict this upon me?
You could just watch the race back if you want to. I don't
that
know if you
would
want
be
to do
better.
that, though.
Yes.
That might be better, yeah.
Yep. That way I don't have to go through it. I just get to watch your suffering.
But yeah, it's like you say, it's experience. It's getting to have this just happen, and then again, it's on your list of, well, this can happen, so maybe it's this in this seed. And when you get to these randomized, you play games with randomized overworlds, it really does allow for I don't want to call it trolliness. It's not really troll because it was. I mean, you both had very early access to the cave, and neither one of you checked that one cave. So you would have had the raft very early on if either one of you just walked in the first cave off of the west there when you first saw DM. But nobody did, right? And then it did end up trolling you just because of that, but it really wasn't ultra trolly just as it presented itself. It was just it looked like it was so free that everyone was like, I'll just come back to this later. And then it just, I don't know, it just rolled that way. But yeah, I don't know how I was going to close that thought, but regardless, GG to both of you here.
Well, thank you. And
Thank
I look
you.
forward to next week's match. Hey, I might not be winning much, but I'm having a ton of fun.
Well, that's fantastic to hear, Rywek. I guess Chadbert. The one minor thing I'd say is, you did have to kind of double dip, you had to kind of backtrack. I guess I don't know what the right word here is because it was like you got the key and then you went right back to the west, whereas I feel like you could have gone to one. You would have had still to push through Death Valley a little bit there, but I think Candle could have helped there, and of course you had a Castable Thunder. That everyone was taking advantage of that. Like get the medicine out of one, so that when you go back to the west, you clear the palaces there, get Reflect, and then come back to the east, do 4 and 5, and then get out of there. Whereas it was go east, get the key, leave, do the west, do maze, go back to the east, do 1 and 5, leave, come back, get Reflect, and then go back to for 4 only. It was a little bit of an extra trip there, but I mean, everything's moving so quickly, like you say. It's like, I could have missed this. Like my opponent could have had this raft 10, 15 minutes ago at this point, because we saw that cave so early. Both of you saw that cave fairly early on from the west to DM, and I can't drive it home enough that it was right there. Nobody checked it, but it's just something, right? It's just something that will always stick with you.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna blame my ADHD because I was like, shiny, I need to get fairy
Yeah.
up an A, but also I knew that 5 was over there, and I'd be like, I would only want to do 1. So afterwards I was like, okay, it's not that bad. It's, a couple of minute time loss, but okay, fine. But then I wouldn't have to worry about a fairy block in the palace or anything. So I was just like,
That's true.
I'm just gonna go do the ones that are available right here on the west in the maze, get the one that's 3, get the what was it, child? Yeah, get the child there, then go back over there, get a fairy, and then start hunting down, and then dealt with the shenanigans that were there to find that. But yeah, that was also why I was just like flying as fast as I could through palaces and stuff. I was just like, just get to the boss, get through it. Don't care about any items. Don't look, don't kill things, just go.
Yeah, what we were hoping for was that it would be like a boots blocked P1, so that you would have to get the boots out of something like Spell Tower. You'd have to go into 4 without Reflect, go get the trophy, go back to the west, turn it in for Spell, go back to the Spell Tower, get the boots, and then you could do 1 to get the medicine, and then you could come back to the west to get the Reflect spell to go back to P1. We were hoping for something like that. We didn't get our wish today, but yeah, this one was a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Other than that, I don't know. Everything seemed pretty straightforward after the segmented DM, as it tends to be. Y'all were getting a bunch of kills off of Blue Zolfos with Thunder spells a lot, so everyone had a good amount of healthy levels early on. Yeah, I don't know. Just other than the raft, obviously the talking point of the entire race here is just the raft, but we've talked about it already, and I think that's all I have to say about that. Any final thoughts, Rywek?
No? Did you enjoy the cat?
We did enjoy the cat. I talked about how there would be a coaching / spirit animal cat that would be showing up at some point, and and she
Yep.
she did show up, and I let everyone know. Maybe they tuned into your stream because they can't see it on the restream. Maybe they came over to check out the cat, but it was nice to see the cat. She just laid down next to you and kind of hung out while we were on the raft hunt.
Yep.
Chad,
honestly, without her, I wouldn't be so inspired.
yes. Chadbert, any final thoughts?
This was a good one. I was definitely worried. Like, I knew Rywek was a newer runner, but I still was like, I just gave him a very good opportunity here with that 20 minutes in DM, then finding the raft. And so I was like, I just gotta go from there on. But thank you everybody that put on the restream. Ryan Combs, Golden Devil for the restream and the tracking. And thank everybody else for coming in and watching.
Absolutely. Golden Devil, I think it's all yours.
All right, GG's and thanks for watching, everyone. I think, like some people have said in chat, there are a few other Z2R races tonight, but I don't know if any of them are going to get a restream. And there will be more. I don't know how long this Swiss is going, but there are a lot pretty much every weeknight here in the US. So stay tuned. We are trying to restream them. But we're going to go right over to ZSR2, where they're doing a MMR race. Have a good night, everyone, and thanks for watching.